That Nazi post on Twitter used screenshot of, or that drama post on Twitter used screenshot of Nazi pedophile that pretend to be. Someone messaged me about that. I saw somebody posted or like tried to procure some kind of accusation against me, and I looked at it and I didn't recognize anything about it. The way in which it was presented made me feel like it was very uncredible, if that makes any sense. Like, so I haven't really paid it much mind, but I have no idea. Many such cases. Yeah, it's pretty anxiety inducing. I have no idea what this is even about. That's funny. So remember my big context video where I said, like, at the end of it, I think, or somewhere in the end, it's not like I've rewatched it, because rewatching that video would be bad for my mental health, because oh my god, this stuff is like anxiety inducing and exhausting. But in the context video, I said, like, there are so many people who have tried to be so bad faith with like old Discord posts that I don't remember. I don't remember them happening. I don't know if there was context or no context. I have no clue. That, like, engaging with them, from my perspective, it's like, I don't even know if it happened. At this point, people could, like, they could just make up anything, right? Like, anyone could say anything, and because people are already primed to accuse me of being like a pedophile or a freak or whatever, a lot of people will agree with it no matter what. There's a financial incentive to some people to do it. So it makes me think, like, if I engage with something, if I give it daylight, I'm like, I'm providing the incentive. You know what I mean? Which is like, so, I mean, anxiety inducing, you know? And also, it's not even just like if people fake stuff. It's also like, if you go far enough back, I have no memory of any surrounding context. That shit has to be so nerve-wracking. Oh my god. Dude, literally, it's so anxiety inducing, you know? At the same time, I guess I don't want to take like a blanket attitude. Like, well, now if anyone ever says anything about me, they're lying. But at the same time, I also don't want to like engage with it in a way that kind of rewards bad faith engagement, because it was like the post was made by like a far right journalist. I think far right. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I thought I remembered being far right journalist, and it was followed up by what I think was supposed to be like a cropped image of me naked with the Jewish star blocking my genitals. The presentation of this did not like reek of credibility to me, you know? And I don't even recognize the image, but that was the insinuation. So, I like, just everything about it is, to me, speaks of like, well, you should just like not even give it daylight. They're so weird. They are, but like at the same time, it's very anxiety inducing for me, you know? Cause it's like, cause I don't want to come across as somebody who's like insanely defensive or whatever, but like, holy shit, to speak of incentives to be defensive. Whew. What would that even imply, that you have a Jewish penis? Well, I am circumcised. So, I mean, in that respect, it's a dead ringer. That is true. By virtue of being an American. Wasn't your dad a Catholic? A lot of Americans just get circumcised. It's not like a religious thing. It's just considered normal here. I don't really know why. Because in the world, I think it's just considered, not just Jewish, but like in Europe at least, it's considered a Jewish thing, I think. But in America, it's like very, very common. Was your dad a Catholic? I mean, my dad was raised Catholic. By the time I was born, he wasn't a Catholic anymore. Why would you do that? I don't know. I think it's just I think it's just a cultural thing. Eventually it just gets normalized. I think people just think otherwise, like it's just like weird if you don't. Appreciate Vaush. Remember being so upset in your behalf because I watched some of H3's stream during that and I couldn't fathom how bad faith it was. Yeah, it's and I said this in the big context video as well, and I think it's relevant here too, that for me, like, the frustration, I guess, is that there's a legitimate, I think, good faith criticism that you could make of a lot of the stuff that H3 went over, which is that, like, in some of these like old Discord screenshots, for one, I'm doing myself no favors with some of the shit that I'm saying, right? Like, in terms of, if people scrutinize this in the future, that looks really bad. But at the same time, I was like, and this, especially with like the poppy thing, really bad at reading other people's intentions, and really bad at, like, I guess, respecting the tone of the conversation. Like, really, really bad at that. And honestly, a lot of that got better by being a streamer, because being scrutinized by other people in a public setting kind of forces you to be more self-conscious about the way that you act, you know? But I think to a large extent it was, no, I don't think it's an autism thing actually. I think I think in large part it was like this cowardice, because I wanted to be friendly, but I didn't want to have friends. Because having friends means like opening yourself up to, it's work. You're opening yourself up to like mutual emotional engagement. It requires respect of another person. Whereas being friendly, being like an affable socialite, you know, where you talk friendly with people and you engage with them, you know, and it comes across like you're being like chummy with people, but in reality, you're just kind of like affecting a behavior. I think it's about vulnerability. So whenever I look at those old like Discord screenshots of me, whether or not there's missing context or whether or not they're real, the main thing I get is the sense of embarrassment at how much I was like unable or unwilling to do that, or to like respect how other people feel enough that it was like a reciprocal thing. You know what I mean? Which is one of the reasons why now I talk about like being earnest, you know, because that's very much like a learned problem, right? Can I ask which context video Vaush referring to? Dog, it's a big video. Nothing but fun. That's a great quality. You should be proud of the growth. I think that like one of the reasons I acted that way for so long was because I was prideful. I thought that I was smarter than other people. And as a consequence of that, I was unwilling to treat interpreting other people's feelings as an unsolved problem. Does that make sense? Like I would think about other people like, oh, I know what they must be like. I'm affable. I'm conversationally competent. I'm good at speaking, because even at a young age I really liked public speaking. But as it turns out, public speaking and reading other people's emotions, not even remotely the same skill. But I thought it for a while, you know, which is embarrassing. So I think that like arrogantly, my thought was like, well, I don't need to second guess myself, you know, so I don't want to be too aggrandizing, I guess. That's a huge problem with men in general, TBH. You'll hear women in relationships complain about their partners treating their emotions as problems to solve instead of just empathizing. True, but I don't want to make it like entirely a man thing, because like I was pretty bad at it. You know, I mean, the whole Poppy thing, for example, it's like entirely rooted in that, right? Fundamentally, just like an inability / unwillingness to engage with. So I wouldn't say I sympathize with those feelings in others. I would say that I recognize them, right? It's just a video called the context video, Ruby V. Do you think it could be an autistic thing? Well, I mean, you never know for sure, right? I don't know. It's kind of like a vague set of characteristics. It's not. It's difficult to concretely determine anything like that. I just don't want to give the impression that because a lot of people try to use stuff like you know, well, I feel. They try like, well, I'm autistic, therefore this behavior wasn't my fault. I'm like deflecting it, you know? I guess I just don't want to engage in too much defensiveness with regard to any perceived, you know, real or imagined earlier behavior, because I know for a fact that I had a very difficult time reading people back then. What the hell are you people linking? They've got these people linking fucking PubMed articles on circumcision. What the hell is happening? It's because circumcision is bad, Ree. Well, I certainly don't agree with it, you know? I don't think it's as like horrendously destructive as some people claim that it is, but I think that you shouldn't do it. I mean, well, you shouldn't do it to your kids, I guess. If you want to do it to yourself, fine, when you're an adult. But I don't think you should do it. Also, to me, a main dig, like aesthetics-wise, is that people who have uncut dicks, they have more like skin to play with. And it means that their skin is a little thicker because it's not as stretched when they're erect. So you don't have the like angry red skin thing. You know what I mean? Where when a circumcised person is erect, their penis is erect, it looks like all the skin is stretched taut to like a micron of thickness, you know? Whereas if you're uncircumcised, there's more material to work with. That's just an aesthetics. I mean, just as a person who's had sex with people who are circumcised and not circumcised. But I don't think it's that big of a deal aesthetically. I accept you on either side of the circumcision fence. Still don't think you should do it to young people. You just have to clean your foreskin? Yeah, but I never really understood that as like a reason for circumcision because, yeah, like you have to wash your junk anyway. Like when you're in the shower and you're washing your junk, you should do that no matter, like the difference in terms of time invested between like, I'm going to wash my junk versus I'm going to peel my foreskin back and wash my junk is like a half second. So I don't really know. I don't really know what the issue is there. Unless you have phimosis or something. But in that case, that would be like a legitimate reason, you know, to get circumcised if you have like a medical condition, you know? Oh, anyway.